30 years. It may be the longest tenure by one imam at one masjid anywhere in the United States. What is the nature of his service? What did this time mean for his family, his masjid, his community? Who is the man? He is my father, Imam Hamad Chebli. He was born in Tripoli, Lebanon, the eldest son of a Bedouin shepherd. My grandfather's primary wish for his children was to have a religious education. He sent his eldest son away to boarding school to study. My father's success away at school allowed him to earn a trip to Al-Azhar University in Cairo, Egypt, where he earned a degree in Islamic philosophy. His success at Al-Azhar University allowed him to leave Lebanon at the height of its civil war and come with us to the United States, where he became the imam at a city masjid in New Orleans. The masjid in New Orleans had many important characteristics. It was very diverse. It was a young community and very fast-growing. In fact, they outgrew their facility quickly, and when it would come time to pray their Eid prayers, they prayed on the banks of a lake, where my dad led the congregation on a grass plain right outside of Lake Pontchartrain. Those 4 years in New Orleans were a formative time in Imam Chebli's life. It is where he honed his skills of listening to the community and responding to their specific needs. The time had come, though, to make a change. He and his young family were growing. He packed his bags, prepared his belongings, and made a trip for New Jersey. In 1986, he moved us from New Orleans to central New Jersey, where we landed at the Islamic Society, which at the time was a one-building masjid in the farming town of South Brunswick. Now, 30 years, 6 kids, and 9 grandkids later, we can begin to tell the story of his impact on the ISCJ and the ISCJ's impact on our family. As children of the Imam, we've always had a unique perspective on our father's work and his place in the community. In corporate America, there's an annual tradition where parents bring their kids to work 1 day per year. As children of the Imam, we practice this tradition practically every day. My dad would bring us with him to Maghrib and Isha prayers. He enrolled us in both Saturday and Sunday schools, the only kids unlucky enough to be in both weekend sessions. We sat front row at every Jum'ah and Eid prayer because he was always the first one there, and that meant we were the first ones also. When the Al-Huda school, precursor to Nur al-Iman, was founded, he enrolled my sister Maryam, who was the only one of us in the eligible age range. Khalid and Marwa would continue the tradition when Nur al-Iman began. We went to every fundraiser and convention. We heard every joke, every dua, and all the stories. We would cringe the hardest when the story was about one of us, or when his Lebanese humor didn't translate perfectly into English. We've seen the masjid grow from one small building to the institution it is today. Our early years at the ISCJ introduced us to our best friends and mentors and established in us the values that would guide us forward. His focus on the community was matched only by my mom's focus on us. She always made sure we were the best we could possibly be. We weren't aware that our dad was any different from other parents. Seeing him speak in front of large crowds was just one of the things that he did. It wasn't until we were a little older did we understand that our father played a key role in the life of the community. At home, his private life was, and continues to be, identical to his public life. You know that booming voice he uses when he leads prayers from the mihrab? He leads prayers in our living room with that same voice. Loud. During the last 30 years, we've seen the ISCJ grow from a few hundred families to a few thousand. We've welcomed governors, senators, and countless state and local officials. When he was invited by Congressman Rush Holt to give the opening prayer to Congress, he did so with the same message he's given 1,000 times from the minbar during Jum'ah prayer, a message of peace and inclusiveness. When he attended President Obama's final State of the Union address, he stood out in the crowd with his trademark hat, tall stature, and his big smile. From graduation celebrations, funerals, anti-war protests, Boy Scout trips, and marriages, my dad has been at the center of it all, and he's remained humble and gracious. And he's helped the ISCJ continue to be a beacon of tolerance and inclusiveness, and it is a model of the ideal American Muslim community. Today, the Imam's kids, well, we're nearly all married, and we're having kids of our own. The ISCJ has been our wedding venue, our daycare, our weekend school. We've tried to give our children the same experiences that we enjoyed when we were their age. The difference today is that the facilities, services, and community of the ISCJ are dramatically larger than when we were young. We're blessed that the ISCJ is here as a foundation for our community to continue to shape the lives of the next generation. And we're all proud to say that my dad has helped lay the foundation for its continued success, for our kids, and for yours.